a situation where Lex is assuming the worst of these guys. I mean, yeah, this is like a bad look. I would agree. Matt Watson banishes Leighton Stoller to the Shadow Realm. This is crazy, bro. I can't believe it. I can't believe how weird these are. Like, I'm talking about Nick right now. So she censors the creator's name really shittily, and then you literally just see Me Canyon. So yeah, I'm not gonna cap. I don't know what the she's like. I don't understand. Like, I literally think like she's just confused. This just feels like cap, and you know what? I'm gonna look it up just to confirm. I'm like so confused how she thinks this. I'm getting pissed off. Just dude, the logic is going crazy right now.
It's long.
Straight up fantasy world. These people smoke too much weed. Like, clearly, this is the one hill that she probably should have not died on. Wow, dude, these people were not friends. Holy f***. These people were not friends, dude, at all. You don't want friends like this, okay? Lex is kind of spitting here. Mexican standoff, bro. Yeah, Nick is a low-level grunt, okay? He ain't a level 100 boss. Let's just put it like that. The Leighton's the fall guy. Leighton's the fall guy for f***ing everyone. We're now going to react to LexUpDog's response to SuperMega. She starts this out basically by, reaffirming, that Dawn did commit this assault. She goes through Dawn's response and effectively says, no, this guy did it, and this is not him taking accountability. He is trying to undermine what he did. She views it as a semi-confession, although clearly, stating that this is convenient to him, certain details that he includes. And she does something interesting, which is she corrects or claims basically that Dawn claims that the night of the alleged assault, it was just, a situation where he pushed her head down while she was giving oral, and she reacted badly, and then he apologized profusely, and then they just basically, after he was apologizing, they just relaxed and just watched TV and went to bed. Lex's claim is effectively that he continually tried to force her down, even when basically she was saying no. After that, she states that she had sex with him, basically, that she gave consent to have sex with Dawn because she was fearful of his potential retaliation. She describes that as basically coercive, right? So like, she consented verbally, but that's not real consent, right? And so I guess I'll let her say that. But yeah, that's an interesting detail, right? This is Lex's version of this, is that they had sex after, and she basically is claiming that she did that out of fear of what Dawn would do.
Assault. He's just describing like a sex act. In his first post, he says, quote, "During the intimate act, I had pushed her down on her head, after which she recoiled and told me that I was being too rough. During this time, I was under no impression that anything traumatizing had occurred. However, I realize now that this was extremely traumatizing for her." It's like, okay. He's talking about me like a dog that just heard thunder and hid under the bed. He says, "I then profusely apologized, and we ended up watching TV and going to bed after." That's not how I recall it at all. So that's interesting, because how I recall it is consenting to sex because I was freaked out and scared after that, and then getting choked and blacking out. That's what I remember. So that's interesting that you don't remember such a discrepancy. Very cool. Dawn goes on to speak about our relationship after the assault, explaining that our relationship seemed to have not changed.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, that's basically, that's like her claim effectively is like he's bullshitting, or at the very least, he's really heavily downplaying what happened. She points out that Dawn states basically, or Dawn's claim is that SuperMega heard Dawn's side first, right? So Dawn talked to SuperMega about what happened first, so Dawn basically got to prime SuperMega in a way that was would be more sympathetic to Dawn. Yeah, I mean, look, okay, as far as it goes, as far as the whole Matt Watson situation, where it's Dawn was staying at the SuperMega Plex, right, the workspace of SuperMega. He was staying there when Lex was scheduled in advance to basically go and hang out or stay there. Matt Watson basically kicked Dawn out of his own house, sent him to the Super Megaplex, and it ended up with a situation where Lex went to this same place where this person who allegedly assaulted her, basically there was a borderline confrontation between them. And so, yeah, this is something that I've kind of maintained the entire time. Matt Watson, again, it's like you can view him as malicious, which Lex kind of does. Lex kind of basically implies that Matt Watson purposefully arranged it so that Lex would meet Dawn at the Super Megaplex, and Lex basically frames it as clearly Matt was maybe hoping that we would figure it out in person, because again, like that was something that Matt Watson initially thought about doing, was like just thinking basically based on what Dawn was telling Matt Watson. He was thinking like, you just got to talk it out or something. Like must be a miscommunication here. Obviously, Lex is aware that it's possible that Matt just made an honest mistake. Maybe he was smoking too much weed. Maybe he was just busy, whatever. But either way, this was like a mistake. Everyone has pretty unanimously, I think, agreed that this is a fuck up massively by Matt Watson, right? Like, a girl tells you that they were assaulted, and then you send the guy who allegedly assaulted her to the same place that she's about to stay. Pretty unwise. But anyway, that brings us to some more, I guess, information that Lex states. Lex shows basically a receipt from Dawn that claims, Cassette Girl, the body type of Cassette Girl was based on her. This is just like not that important, but a lot of people were saying, Cassette Girl wasn't based on Lex. And there's definitely evidence to suggest that it wasn't entirely based on Lex, but this is a receipt.
With me and
whether it's, Dawn just bullshitting or not, this is a receipt of Dawn apparently claiming that he based some part of Cassette Girl on Lex.
To imply I'm lying. He does this by saying it was based off of a SoundCloud he was listening to in 2017, following up with, the character is in no way related to Lex. Dawn must have not remembered telling me directly multiple times that she is based off of me.
I can be your Cassette Girl reference model for you if you want. Easy references for content for her, by the way. This is Dawn sending her a Coomer face. Yes, I based her body type off you anyway. And then Lex says, I remember. So, fair enough. That seems like, at the very least, yeah, evidence that part of this was based on Lex. They definitely had been talking for a long time. I just feel free to believe whoever you want.
Off of me. Dawn mentions the art he posted before his apology for some reason, I guess because people were commenting on it. It just seems like a really weird way of deflecting. Dawn then...
Right, so she basically kind of tears apart Dawn's entire response to the situation, explains that he is still operating as an artist under a new pseudonym. I don't think, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody involved in this situation thinks that Dawn didn't do this, right? Like Matt Watson, Ryan Magee, pretty much everyone involved completely basically, abandoned Dawn. The big problem though that Lex, emphasizes is that they didn't abandon Dawn right away, right? That's her big grievance from what I understand. Not just that, but she also basically states and reaffirms like SuperMega tried to cover this up. Okay, that's why this is a bit of an inflammatory, I guess you could say, response, because yes, she says that 100% Dawn assaulted me, which was not news, but she also reaffirms, yes, SuperMega, they tried to cover it up. And so if I'm jumping basically to her evidence of that, firstly, we get DMs from Justin, who was, I believe, SuperMega's editor. He initially clearly believed that the SuperMega boys were malicious in this situation. And so Lex shows a screenshot from him, which I'll read.
So that's the first thing that's weird. Justin sent me a DM on...
Lex, I've been struggling all day with finding the right words to say about this situation going on, and truly all I can say is that I'm so incredibly sorry. I especially had no idea about how Matt had handled things behind the scenes. My trust was completely shattered and I feel absolutely awful. I'm finding out more things he's lied about as well, and it's just so crushing to me. I made the decision to leave SuperMega once I found all this out. And I'm not looking back. All of these things you've had to go through is so unfair, and I appreciate you telling your story. I would never have known without it. I started working there when I was 17 and had so much faith in the company since I basically grew up in it. For this to come out is heartbreaking. I've also reached out to Rav and apologized for how your stay at the office was last year as well. I just hope I had known what was happening. So basically, yeah, I mean, Lex shows like Justin jump shipped like really fast, okay? And then what she ends up showing is like, okay, yeah, Justin's just cool with them now. All right, fair enough. I don't know what Justin was referring to, obviously, where he says Matt had...
Shut up, Gokanaru. The real thing you should be advertising is our brand new Hubert NPCs. Did you enjoy the Sneeko video? Do you desire the love and companionship that comes with owning a Hubert of your own? Well, then you should head to gokamerch.com and sign up for the email list. It's easy. Just take a look at one of our satisfied customers.
You open it.
Oh, that's hard. A little bite. Wow, look at that smile. Making a friend has never been easier with our new Hubert NPCs. Sign up to the gokamerch.com email list today so that you'll be the first to be notified when Huberts go on sale. Only a limited quantity will be sold.
So sign up. All right, back to the clip. I'm finding out more things he's lied about as well, and it's just so crushing to me. I don't know if that's him referring to like the morgue pie stuff, where it's like the alleged cheating that was kind of disproven. It's tough to say. Who knows? This Justin guy clearly flip-flopped in this situation. Pretty heavy.
July 28th.
Okay, and then we've... Mamma mia. And then we've got... Oh, right, Kelly. So Kelly, I believe, I'm not certain, but I believe... was a replacement for Dawn. I believe she's a channel artist for SuperMega. And Lex claims that Kelly sent a very similar, DM in support of Lex. But then now, she has blocked, like this Kelly woman has blocked Lex. And so Lex didn't have the screenshot to show. Then she gets into an interesting part for me. She starts talking about NickisNotGreen, friend of the channel, as always. Our boy Nick, he... the flip-flopper of the fucking century. Yeah, I mean, the guy abandoned Lex and Ethan completely. Like, hard. His friends. And so, I was very curious what Lex would say. And honestly, she went soft on him, in my opinion. But I'll let you guys, be the judge of that, I guess.
He gives us a synopsis of mine, gives commentary while he looked at the SuperMega subreddit. Not really any apology. Being in that position, the replacement of a guy without having known was probably very icky. Nick's first video corroborating mine would have came out on the 29th, which is the second apology that Don made the day of. Pretty much in the video, he gives us a synopsis of mine, gives commentary while he looked at the SuperMega subreddit. Not really anything not really hard-hitting journalism. I don't really know what anyone expected from this besides just hearing a summary of a 2-hour video in hindsight, because I feel like it got blown up way more than it did, just because it's the only video that isn't a right-winger guy that's screaming about OnlyFans or something. Anyway.
All right, so that's obviously, a shot, I guess, at people like me. Nick's video was the only video that wasn't a right-winger ranting about OnlyFans. Lex, come on. To be fair, Lex admits in this video that she didn't even watch Matt and Ryan's responses to this situation until October, month plus after they were released. So she doesn't actually seemingly know what the actual coverage is. She probably only knows based on, the, I guess, harassment or the messages that she's receiving on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, right? So, yeah, I mean, there definitely was some commentators or people that were just, shitting on her for fucking having OnlyFans, whatever, being, victim, woman, whatever you'd say. I don't know. I feel like I've been pretty fucking fair to Lex. I'm not going to take it personally that she just is writing off completely, all the detractors effectively as, right-wing OnlyFans haters. Because, yeah, there are some. But, no, that's very lazy thinking, for sure. And she's definitely not doing herself any favors. It's basically a situation where this response is entirely on, I guess you could say, the defense, but a little bit on the offense. I mean it in the sense of she is doubling down. She is not apologized. She is not retracting really anything. I don't think really anything. Yeah, she's maintaining the frame of I am the victim in this scenario, and everyone who's demanding a fucking apology from me, it's not your place. And so it's kind of up to you to, determine how you feel about that. Then we get into a more interesting, in my opinion, kind of I guess finding, you could say, and it's that Matt Watson claims that, and this was something that was important information that I took seriously or whatever. Matt Watson claimed in his response to this whole situation that he notified Rubber Ross who's a collaborator, a YouTuber, whatever, that Dawn had assaulted Lex and to not work with Dawn. Whereas Lex provides an account where she gets Rav, her friend, to basically inform Rubber Ross, but isn't able to call him, right? So I'll show you what she means. But basically, it seems like, effectively, Matt Watson did not go out on a limb to inform Rubber Ross about Dawn. It's that actually Lex initiated a course of events where Rubber Ross got kind of a warning, and then he called Matt Watson to confirm, and Matt Watson confirmed.
Matt goes on and lies and says that Rav told him first.
I don't remember exactly, but I think Rav was the one who told me initially on my balcony one night, and he told me that Dawn had sexually assaulted Lex.
When Rav was only told Dawn's side of the story by Matt and Ryan until I told Rav directly around mid-June 2020.
Right, so there's another discrepancy that she points out. It's very, man, it gets in the weeds as hell. But like, she's basically trying to point out every inconsistency in Matt Watson's account, which is fair. I mean, this is kind of what this needs to be. But yeah, the discrepancy is that Matt Watson, as he stated, he claimed he didn't remember, but it seems like he might be falsely remembering, because he's claiming again that Rav was the first one to tell him about this. Lex believes the first person to tell him about this was Dawn, and that Dawn obviously positioned it very favorably to himself, and that's why effectively, Matt and Ryan tried to cover this up.
Me too. Also, Matt's including Rav when it really wasn't relevant for him to know what happened to me at the time. Dawn was staying at Matt's house. It was only relevant for him and Ryan to know what happened so they could keep Dawn away from me. Either way, they co-sign themselves in their own confusion and inaction is by bringing up about how they had supposedly told Ross in their own volition about what Dawn had done.
We also updated those who we knew that were working with him of the situation.
And we did not cover this up from other people. For example, I was the one who told Ross over the phone because Ross had a show with Dawn, and I felt like he needed to know this.
When that's just not the truth. I'm the one that told Rav to tell Ross what happened. And the only reason why...
Right, so here's basically, this is Rav, Lex's friend, reaching out on Lex's behalf to say, sorry dude, I've been trying to talk to you for weeks, but you were never available before. And it just so happens that I'm vacationing in the mountains right now without much signal. The short story is as follows. Last November, Dawn sexually assaulted LexUpDog at Matt's place. Matt and Ryan no longer work with Dawn. Neither do I. Thought you ought to know. Okay, and this is July 11th. Oh, okay. That's pretty damn serious, as I suspected. I wish someone told me when I was going to start a show with them. Facepalm emoji, I guess, whatever you'd say. Sorry I didn't just text you this sooner, but I would have much preferred a call. I still hope we get back to have one sometime once I'm back in LA. So yeah, this is, the receipt for that.
Rav didn't tell him himself was because we were in the mountains still for my mom's birthday. So we ran out of internet, and Ross was worried and ended up calling Matt himself. And for that, the only reason why Ross ever figured out what happened between me and Dawn is because Ross got worried and had to call Matt himself, which...
Right, so this is a summary of Ross's stream kind of addressing this. I'm reading a summary from Reddit, okay? So take that for whatever you will. But this claims that Ross called Matt, and it was him who told him what had happened, after which Ross immediately killed the YouTube show with Dawn. Ross apparently corroborates that Rav was the one who suggested to Ross something happened, but he couldn't talk at the time due to traveling. So again, the course of events that led to Matt Watson telling Ross was not initiated by Matt Watson. So that was kind of, a convenient framing, basically, is what Lex is arguing.
Ross says himself in his stream that he called Matt himself. But for some reason, Matt and Ryan take it upon themselves to make it sound as if they went through their own volition to tell Ross. Yeah. When really, especially Ryan has nothing to do with telling anyone. While watching this, keep in mind that this is the supposed motive.
To be fair, this is only in relation to Ross. So I don't know if other people, they warned. But if they did warn other people, they probably would have shown proof of it. So, fair enough.
Of them getting us to meet and talk it out. Despite the whole point of me calling to speak about my assault was to ask them to keep me away from Dawn.
To be honest, Ryan and I were scared of this whole situation. Me and Ryan organized.
Yeah, I mean, that's him and Ryan being scared of the situation for themselves. I feel like that is obvious, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, like they clearly did not know what to do. It is a situation where Lex is assuming the worst of these guys, and I get it from her perspective, but I don't know. It's hard for me to pin them as malicious. But yes, we will continue. Right, she cites that Matt still posted a picture of Dawn, almost, I believe, immediately after hearing about the assault, something like that. Let's just listen to what she has to say.
Because Matt called me and told me as such and gave no indication of being confused. So they either lied to me at the time or they lied to you to change whatever you would think.
And the whole time I was none the wiser on what had actually taken place between him and Lex. And if I had known, I would not have invited him out to LA to stay with.
Once Dawn was at his house and he did know, not only did he do nothing, he posted Dawn onto his Twitter. This picture is still up. Right, and so June 7th, I'm not certain, but I believe that this was still the time frame when, Matt clearly didn't understand the severity of it. He was kind of ignorant to, the gravity or whatever of Lex's claims. And so, yeah, it seems like, Matt was just not taking it that seriously. Posting a picture of Dawn. Thick. Sorry.
With me. I would not have housed him.
And then, despite...
Right, she says, I would not have housed him, but at this time he did, right? Again, this was still, like, he was housing Dawn. From what I understand, he was housing Dawn before he heard Lex's side, right? So, I think that's more so what Matt meant, but anyway.
And then, despite going in depth about why they tried to get Dawn and I to speak, Matt says this.
I never intended for them to come in contact with each other. As soon as I realized my mistake, I told Donnie I had to leave the office. And for a little more context, here is me having a discussion with Rav where I'm realizing my mistake.
I find it funny that Matt calls this a mistake so many times, considering that I told him what day I would be in town. So it's really pretty much up to the viewer whether or not you want to believe him, which is a great excuse considering that he didn't actually have a good reason to do it besides selfish ones.
Right. So yeah, she's basically again taking the most cynical frame, which is like, no, he wanted us to meet up to talk to each other. It wasn't a mistake. And she kind of further leans into that right around here.
Despite our delayed action on this, I do want to state unequivocally that Ryan and I never made any attempts to cover up or to aid Dawn.
If Matt had admitted to knowing better, that means he would have been admitting to helping Dawn out. There's no world in which...
Right. Her basic fucking angle is that these guys were trying to help Dawn, Like, they didn't drop him immediately when he told them what happened, right? And when she told them. So, like, them trying to mediate on behalf of Dawn at the start was them helping them out.
Getting Dawn to talk it out with me is not helping Dawn out, especially when my call was specifically about not wanting to see or talk to Dawn. Over and over, they take matters into their hands when it really wasn't their business to do so. They did the exact opposite of what I had ever asked them to do.
They're actually...
Right. I don't know what she's implying when she says what I ever asked them to do. I don't know what she means by that. Like, what did she ask them to do? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. Because obviously, like, what were they supposed to do? Like, Dawn was living with them. They needed to do something. Dawn was living with them and working for them. Like, they needed to do something in relation to that. Anyway, whatever.
Actions follow the logic of people that don't think my assault was a big deal. Ryan doesn't mention anything about trying to emotionally blackmail me with...
Right, so this is something that she brings up a lot, which is the emotional blackmail, which is, all right. This is in reference to when basically Ryan, like, picks up on this kind of shitty, I guess, standoffish vibe that's going around between them, her and Rav, whatever, when they're on vacation. We were told that y'all are still upset with how we handled the Dawn situation. Is this not true? If the problems you're talking about aren't that and are just an off vibe, then yeah, we've caught it too. Whether it's a standoffishness we're getting from y'all, acting in a rude manner when invited to my birthday, or what seemed like directed negative sarcasm in a recent group chat. So, like, she's calling this emotional blackmail. It's like, okay, fair enough. Like, it makes sense if Lex wasn't into a birthday party after, she almost met Dawn or whatever. But it's like emotional blackmail. I don't even know what that means, to be honest. So, whatever. I just won't comment on it, I guess.
with being sad at his birthday party after seeing Dawn the same day because of the choices he made, and using me being upset at their lack of communication. After that, using that to reject to speak to me because I was upset, to hold my own emotions against me. Ryan held my feelings against me for how he handled my trauma. In their videos, they imply I wanted to keep it private with no proof.
And she expressed that she did not want this to be a thing that was public.
But thankfully for them, I'm very consistent. And I've specifically spoken to other friends about how they were conversations that I wanted to have in person, not in private. Those are two different words. In their video,
the SuperMega guys claimed that Lex wanted to keep this all low key, right? And that was a big part of basically why they were saying, like, they didn't publicly, you know, announce that shit was bad with Dawn, whatever. And now Lex is kind of claiming, like, she didn't want to keep it private, or she didn't want to keep it low key. When in her original video, bro, like the girl was saying pretty expressly, from what I remember, I could be misremembering, but I'm pretty confident she was explicitly stating she was trying to talk in person, in real life, whatever, so that there was nothing screenshotable, so that this wouldn't become some big fucking drama bullshit, right? So she's saying that Matt and Ryan didn't provide receipts or proof of that, but she said this herself in her original video. So that's odd. So I guess, ironically, yes, she's not consistent on this. But yeah, I'll have to go back and confirm, I guess.
Wanted to have in person, not in private. Those are two different words. In their videos, they lie about cutting off Dawn personally and professionally, and they don't say when specifically.
Again, after some tiptoeing, we ended up cutting ties with Don, both personally and professionally. We cut all contact with him.
In response to what Lex told us, we removed Don as our channel artist, and we cut contact with him 100%.
In August, Ryan liked Dawn's art, and it was posted into the Dawn channel in the SuperMega server that was...
Okay. I mean, yeah, this is like a bad look. I would agree. I don't attribute too much to Twitter likes, personally. I don't know that this was like some fucking, like, you know, real sign of approval or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they have a Dawn channel on their Discord, apparently, that he liked it. Yeah, you could see that as, you know, having some subtle meaning, potentially. But I just don't attribute that much meaning to it.
Was still there and was there until it was deleted. Matt goes on to showing anonymous Discord screenshots from an anonymous Discord of, quote, anti-SuperMega people who write, quote, child fan fiction as proof of a conspiracy against SuperMega by Leighton and Tumad, who is dead now, and also
Rip. Rest in peace, Too Mad.
Immediately shit on me as soon as my video
yeah, I mean, Too Mad is a victim hater, bro.
Came out and blocked me, and now he's dead. So
rest in peace.
Matt doesn't know I'm a child sex assault survivor, so that's strange that I would hang out in a pedophile Discord. I find that weird that I would do that.
Right. She's okay. So this is confusing because she's it's so weird. I'm not sure where she's getting this. She's completely misconstruing that entire section of Matt Watson's video. Matt Watson fucking banishes Leighton Stoller to the Shadow Realm. He's claiming that Leighton might have been a part of that, you know, Discord. Okay. Leighton and Two Man, whatever. Right. That doesn't implicate Lex. And he didn't implicate Lex. I don't know why she's addressing this as if it was accused that she was in this fucking Discord. I don't know why.
That's news to me. I found that out when everybody else did, because I didn't know I did that.
Yeah, she's just wrong. Like, I think she's just misinterpreting this. Like, fuck. I don't know.
Matt tries very hard to make his proof look convincing by highlighting the date of the email, which was April 20th.
Okay, I don't know why she's digging into this shit. It's literally, it doesn't have to do with her, in my mind.
21st.
It actually absolves her a little bit because it puts more fucking blame onto Leighton, right? Like, Leighton was clearly the one who, you know, really seemingly corralled a bunch of people and basically convinced them, like, yes, we gotta fucking cancel these guys, they're pieces of shit and all that.
Over and over and over. Mind you, That day, I had gauze in my nose from surgery, and I was in Tennessee.
Okay, I don't understand why. Okay, I'm just gonna skip this section because honestly, this whole part of Matt Watson's video had nothing to do with Lex, I think, at all. So yeah. So Lex goes on to basically affirm or claim that Matt Watson's video defending himself was dismissing her trauma. It was positioned in a way to shit on Lex, and that it was naturally going to cause harassment toward Lex, despite him saying, the opposite. And I see where she's coming from, but the thing is like, look, lady, I mean, you made a lot more claims than just that they covered up the essay, right? Like, you made a lot of claims against his character, and it's like, is he supposed to just take all that? Like, he just is giving, his side, right? Like, he has to put up some resistance, because she's, again, basically positioning it as everything she said is completely correct or an accurate reflection of reality. And it's like, that's just not the case. Like, especially with the housing situation, there's a lot of discrepancy there, massive amount. So I don't know what you expect. Matt Watson is just not supposed to fucking try and clear his name. I understand the power imbalance, I guess, but you guys started it by making it public. Like, with the second you make it public, I don't know what to tell you. Like, they can respond. I don't know why they would owe you taking it on the cheek. I don't know.
Inside someone with information they already knew about. One of the things I find that's interesting that Matt decides to do is he shows our second to last text message exchange and words it as if it's our last time we spoke, when in reality, he showed the last text messages before Leighton got fired to support his argument.
That communication ceased around the time.
Right, so she's basically admitting that she turned sour toward Matt after Leighton got fired. That doesn't really change anything in my mind, but it kind of confirms what I was saying, which is like, Leighton gets fired, starts shit talking SuperMega massively, hypes up all these other people to create exposed videos against them, and yeah, I mean, undermines Lex's story, right? But also, just mess, disgusting, like, fucking mess. This whole fucking situation's mess.
That we fired Leighton, who is a close friend of hers.
Because I spoke to him 10 days before Creator Clash, before I saw him in.
All right. I'm in town hanging out with Ethan, and I told him about the nuke and just realized it happened on your birthday. Thanks, Lex. Well, I just noticed 2 of your YouTube accounts are still signed in on my living room TV. Want me to sign them out? Yeah, sure. Gotcha. We'll do when I'm home from work. What's new? How's life been? Are you back in Tennessee? Signed out. This doesn't tell me anything. I don't... Okay, fair. All right.
In person. That was April 5th of last year, 2023. I did not respond to his last message because I didn't feel like
aside from the fact that they had already declined to speak previously about this?
Talking, because I was crowdfunding
okay, who gives a shit? I'm not going to cap. Like, all right, fair enough.
That, like, oh, well, I'm not trying to validate Lex. Like, no one hears that, obviously.
Right.
So this fuels a bunch of stuff. Matt's video implies that I did not speak up for my own empowerment, but for a personal vendetta, implying that and a cover-up by people who I thought were helping me somehow wasn't enough.
I'm in no way saying that her coming forward with the Dawn situation is a ploy by Leighton to get us canceled. However, there's a lot of other stuff that I think the dots can be connected.
The messaging in their videos had people walking away thinking that either I was exaggerating about at least some parts of my story, or that I was simply lying about everything.
Right, but this is just kind of projection. Like, he is literally talking about Leighton, the bad actor, who you also acknowledged as a bad actor. Lex has also banished Leighton to the shadow realm. I don't know, whatever. I get it, though, because it's like, she's kind of right in the sense that it's like, it makes her look bad, but certain parts of what she said about Matt Watson were incorrect. He did not cheat on his latest partner, right? Like, you were not a perfectly reliable narrator. But again, he affirms on the Dawn stuff, the stuff that really, is the crux of so much of this, the part that I guess you would think would really, really matter, truly. He completely stands in support of you. You know what I mean? And it's like, I understand, like, the internet is the internet. It's going to fuck your life up. if you are coming out as a victim and you have any inconsistencies at all, but I don't know what more Matt Watson could have done. I don't know.
Nick's follow-up video, August 2nd. Nick decided to make a follow-up video where Nick reported. Nick.
I love that. Yeah, that's facts, Lex. Like, this guy's not a fucking reporter. And he figured that out the hard way. But yeah, I was definitely saying that at the time. I was like, bro, this guy literally just puts the fucking just chews the content and spits it into his fucking viewers' mouths. And hey, I mean, maybe Nick will have a little bit of a redemption arc. Time will tell. But yeah, I mean, he's kind of quit doing like commentary content, which is really surprising. But yeah, Layden and Nick, bye-bye. Banished to the Shadow Realm.
Followed up and just gave a summary of what had happened since my video, or his last video, I guess. He didn't ask me about anything or tell me that he was making it. If he had asked me about it, he would have found out that I hadn't even watched Matt Ryan's videos. Or just...
This is crazy, bro. I can't believe it. I can't believe how weird these fucks are. Like, I'm talking about Nick right now. This fucking guy comes out so hard defending his friends, and he's not even talking to them. He is not even like fucking communicating with them before uploading videos about this. The primary source. What a fucking idiot. Holy shit. Just crazy. Wow. Weird. Just weird.
I couldn't think of his name. Or Jim's video to that point. So I didn't even know what was being said till Ryan's Twitter post in October. So that was what made me actually watch their videos. So up until this point, I had no idea what was going on.
He did, however, bring up the text not mentioned by Matt, which I appreciate. Although I think by the...
Yeah, that's facts. I think I pointed this out too, but look, Matt Watson's response was not perfect. Okay. Like, I know he was playing like a PR angle, but I don't know what you could really expect for him to do, like it did do a lot of, damage to their fucking community and their brand or whatever. But yes, his response, like, it was clearly there was self-preservation in mind, for sure.
By the time Nick's video came out, people had already been encouraged to...
Right, so look, this is, again, just to explain what I was just describing. This is when Lex sees that, or finds out that Dawn is staying at the same place that Matt arranged for her to go, okay? He says, hey, can't wait to see you. Just an update, Dawn is staying at the office with Rav right now, okay? So Matt messages Lex saying, yo, Dawn is at the fucking office, right? At 9 p.m., whatever. She says, what should I do? He says, whatever you want. I was just updating you on where Dawn was staying, so you know. My place is full at the moment, unfortunately. So, yeah, Matt doesn't directly address this because it does make him look bad. It makes him look like he kind of, like, he's informing her, yeah, but he's like doing it, I guess, the laziest way possible, whatever. Yeah, just weird. I don't know.
Right. Although I think by the time Nick's video came out, people had already been encouraged to connect the dots by Matt. So I'm not sure how well received it even was. Nick ends the video by talking about himself a little bit too much, and he says it's the last time he's making a video about my assault. Unfortunately, that was not the truth.
Facts. Our boy Nick flip-flopped. Holy moly.
After this, Matt, Ryan, Justin, and...
So she censors the creator's name really shittily, and then you literally just see Meat Canyon. So Matt, Ryan, Justin, and Meat Canyon go to Disney.
Redacted content creator, I won't say, went to Disney, and I never heard from Justin again. On the 26th of August is when I unlisted my video. Now, this is about a month, almost an exactly month after I posted my video. Basically, anybody that was supportive filtered themselves out, and the reactionary people that were there to just like make content out of it started flooding in and documenting drama, and it fueled a lot of very victim blaming comments.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe she's received a ton of these. Holy moly. Yeah, for sure.
That I at the time was not prepared to handle. I started to get harassed more and more by right-wing commentary, reactionary bastards. Anyway, getting awful comments.
It's been a long day.
When I was just not in.
It's been a long bloody day. Boom.
a mental space to be able to handle them. And without having watched Matt and Ryan's videos until October, I was ignorant to the fact that they had pretty much spent the whole video defending themselves instead of saying anything supportive. And
I feel like that's cap. I feel like she must have known that just based on like the reaction that came on social media. And I mean, look, I don't know. I don't really know exactly how to frame this or whatever, but like Matt and Ryan, like they did admit their fuck ups in relation to the Don situation, right? The big thing she's basically, I guess, seemingly upset with is that they denied trying to cover up an essay. That's her claim that she's doubling down on. But they did apologize. They did basically say, you know, this was a fuck up. Sorry, Lex. And they didn't really implicate Lex. Now, she is going to get into Ryan's Twitter post where Ryan talked about the fact that Daniel, his old friend, basically was brought into the situation as kind of a weird, you know, leverage against them or whatever. And yeah, I mean, her response to this is just pretty unsatisfying. It's a little bit confusing as well, but let's just jump into it.
Pretty much saying I lied about almost everything except for the assault, and fueling pretty much all the talking points that came to the commentary community. It became
right. So this is where she can shout out to the commentary community that Matt and Ryan fueled, you know, our rhetoric to shit on them. This is why I've been leaning on bashing NickisNotGreen more than anyone, just because that guy, like, look, he's a professional fucking commentator. Obviously, he's not actually professional. Obviously, he's not even a journalist, whatever you would say, but he should have known better, in my personal opinion. Yeah. She's not wrong, I guess, to an extent. Like, Matt's video did give talking points for a lot of commentary. But yeah, I don't know what else he was supposed to do.
Pretty overwhelming for me in the mental state I was in that I was still trying to heal from. So about a month later, I felt that the video had at least served its purpose within
right, so they're talking about why she privated it. I don't really care about the whole privating thing. This is where she talks about people who have blocked her.
On what I had stated before. On the 26th, the same day I privated my video, Kelly messaged me on Twitter.
Okay, so Kelly, again, being someone who worked with SuperMega at the time, hey, I'm just checking in and hope you're doing okay. It's been really rough for you, especially lately, and I just hope you're doing okay. If you ever need to talk about anything, let me know if you need another person. I definitely understand if you would rather not, but I just want to let you know I've been thinking about you and hoping you've been well.
And this one I do have a screenshot of, but she was checking in on me, let me know that I could talk to her, whatever. Kelly acknowledges that I must have been having a hard time, presumably in reference to the harassment I was getting, and offered reassurance and asked how I was doing. I updated her and told her that I was traveling and I was seeing friends and that I would have liked talking, and I asked to make a call, and she
I really appreciate the message. I'd love to talk sometime. We should call on Discord or something if you're up for it, but no problem if you don't want to. I hope you've been well and your day's been going well.
She declined and said she wanted to keep texting.
I figured I'd reach out in case you weren't doing well. I'm not in the best headspace for actual calls, but I can definitely text if you need it.
And I didn't really know what to think of that. So I didn't respond. And she later unfollowed me. I don't have a date for that, but if I get one, because I have a screenshot of when I...
Whoa. Okay. Whatever. September 18th, she unfollows. This Kelly girl unfollows her. Okay, who cares?
Noticed.
Since then,
Don's blocked me. Kelly blocked me around the same time. Don changed his username twice. Ryan's Twitter post came on October 14th of last year. So
this is where she's talking about Ryan, Daniel, and basically the situation surrounding, you know, them, I guess you could say. Did you see Lex was deleting comments? Yeah, this is something I'll go over in a little bit.
We spoke on Daniel. Ryan uses angry, passive-aggressive language to guilt and shame everyone involved that merely mentioned Daniel's name, liking it to having spoken badly on Daniel himself, using quotes and references to my post.
Right, so this is where I'm not sure what to really say, but it's like so Ryan using passive-aggressive language in his tweet about how Daniel was brought into the situation, how it bothered him. It's passive aggressive, yeah, I guess, but it's like, I mean, he's pretty blunt. Like, he's literally saying, it annoyed me that you guys brought my dead friend, who I fucking found the body of, and had to actually deal with the trauma. You brought that in as like a weird, strange weapon against myself and Matt to make us seem callous and like to just fucking throw salt in our wounds. That seems pretty fucking fair.
A video that isn't about Daniel, but another attempt close to me that I mentioned several times in my 2-hour video.
Also, the specific event is mentioned in the text post that summarizes my video on Twitter as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cap. I don't know what the fuck she's like. I don't understand. Like, I literally think like she's just confused. Like, I don't know what she's drawing a connection here with. She is massively confused or something. This just feels like cap, and you know what? I'm gonna look it up just to confirm. I'm like so confused how she thinks this. So here it is, October 17th. I really don't want to be writing this, but I feel like I need to address something that's been eating away at me, my mental state. A few months ago, some individuals came forward with their issues with me, Matt, and our channel, SuperMega. I've acknowledged these criticisms in a response video and still believe that some of their points are valid. There was one topic brought to the table that's been weighing on my mind heavily. Before I begin, I want to say that I am in no way trying to take away from Lex coming forward to speak on her essay by our former channel artist Dawn. Okay. It was claimed by multiple people that Matt and I didn't care about and would apparently make cold-hearted jokes making fun of our late friend Daniel for committing. I want to clarify that these accusations are false. In my response video back in July, I defended myself against these claims, but unfortunately, those who spread them have still not taken accountability for dragging Daniel into the situation. Daniel was my best friend. I found Daniel in his room unresponsive due to an apparent attempt. The claims regarding Matt and I disrespecting Daniel's memory were made and propagated by Lex in her now unlisted YouTube video that was posted July 27th, where she claims Matt called Daniel a coward multiple times and that Matt and I don't give a shit about. She was the first person to mention Daniel. Leighton Stollard stated we would make the actual act of Daniel's a punchline for discussing jokes. NickisNotGreen uses a random post from a fan on SuperMega subreddit as a segue to talk about Daniel, while also highlighting the claims Leighton and Lex made. Okay. Ethan is online in a now deleted YouTube live stream, which Lex also appears, confidently states that we called Daniel a coward as he's reading a SuperMega apology bingo card on the SuperMega subreddit. This is the same stream where Ethan displays a subscriber counter for our channel, celebrating the loss of our audience. After Matt and I released our responses, Lex went into the SuperMega Patreon Discord server to correspond with our fans in the general chat about the situation. In these messages, she mentions Leighton went a bit too hard on his stream. She partly excuses this behavior by pointing out how Leighton's BPD diagnosis and stating he was manic due to us firing him back in March. Lex unlisted her video, adding an edit to the description. Within this edit, she states that an individual, Leighton, used her trust in them as a platform to say a lot of really not okay things. She throws Leighton under the bus while failing to take accountability for how she said some of those exact same things and was the first one to do so. They don't care about, they don't give a shit about. Those are her exact words after repeating Daniel's name to the camera twice. Her only proof that I didn't care being that I was quiet or uncomfortable around discussions pertaining to. She never apologizes for unnecessarily bringing Daniel into the conversation. The only thing I could find was an edit in the description where she says, my intention was to get my message about Dawn immediately completed and believed, and talk about what happened after that unfortunately led to me seeing him again, which is what led to a lot of interpersonal chaos that I learned wasn't necessary explaining in detail or even at all to be believed. Whatever she may have meant by this, it doesn't do anything to clear the waters she muddied in relation to Daniel, especially since it's an edit to a description of an unlisted YouTube video. Ethan has gone quiet on talking about the situation since our responses, while Leighton has gone quiet altogether. That motherfucker got sent to the Shadow Realm, dude. That guy's fucking dead. He's gone. Nick was, and still is, the only one of them to publicly address things after the release of our videos. All that to say, yeah, Lex is just capping. Like, this woman is just totally just either confused or just muddying what is actually going on here. Like,
I don't think they relate to anything bad that we've been through. And the one thing they could, which was Rav's partner attempting to like take themselves, was Daniel, their friend Daniel. Matt's like at least twice in front of me, separate times we'll hang out with him, has called Daniel a coward. So no, they don't care about suicide. They don't give a shit about suicide. They only give a shit about themselves and who they can make jokes of that are under them that they can get away with.
she said that shit like This is just, she's confused.
Diminish my
Like she's
assault,
just, she's confused or she's confusing it on purpose. I don't fucking know.
Anyway, Ryan's Twitter post came on October 14th of last year. So 3 months after I posted my video and a month and a half after it had been unlisted. Despite claims of not trying to diminish my assault, Ryan goes on to make a post tagging everyone who he perceives as having wronged him except for Don, the guy who assaulted me. He claims he calls me a liar, everyone else a liar that spoke out on claims that we spoke on Daniel. Ryan uses angry, passive-aggressive language to guilt and shame everyone involved that merely mentioned Daniel's name.
Yeah, I mean, she's just like doubling down on like, I brought Daniel into the mix and I used him against you. Fuck you. That's what she's saying.
Linking it to having spoken badly on Daniel himself, using quotes and references to my...
Bro, I don't know if this woman is like literally reading comprehension like problems or struggling, but like this is just not what they're implying at all. There is 0% of that is him implying that you talked shit about Daniel. It's that you undermined literally Matt and Ryan specifically, like their, respect to Daniel or whatever, right? Like you're basically saying like they're callous, they don't care about. That's what you said. There's no way to really misinterpret that. You made a claim against them that they don't give a fuck about. And Ryan Magee is coming out and saying, you dickhead, I found the guy's body. Who the fuck are you to tell me whether or not I give a fuck about that? And so her response is to be an idiot, honestly, about it. This is fucking stupid.
I post a video that isn't about Daniel, but another attempt close to...
Yeah, just like, you're confused or you're just an idiot. I don't know what else to say. Like, or you're just like confusing this on purpose. There's just, like, it's not about Rav at all. You're confused.
That I mentioned several times in my 2-hour video.
Also, the specific event is mentioned.
Yeah, this is just all fucking, I'm getting pissed off. Just, I guess let's just listen at this point.
Be clear what I'm talking about.
In this post, Ryan does not clarify any of the assumptions that he was making about my video description, whatever, saying whatever that means, assuming everything he didn't know about was about Daniel. For some reason, Ryan's retelling of events and quotes attributed to me are spaced out throughout the post, and in doing so, makes it seem as if
all the guy's basically asking is for you to say, okay, I'm sorry for bringing up Daniel, or I'm sorry for fucking, my flagrant comments about Daniel or whatever, right? Like, that's basically all he's basically saying. She's positioning that as like, this is a guy who's trying to abuse a power dynamic, or that he's basically trying to turn the tables on her. And it's like, okay, that's possible. That's totally possible. But it could also easily be just sincere, right? Like, he states basically you disrespected his trauma, and that's what you accused us of doing, right? So it's like more of a mutual respect thing. But I understand, like, in her mind, like, she's the victim, and they, were a large part in causing the accentuation of her fucking trauma, right? Like, and basically, yeah, like they, in her mind, they defended a rapist.
If I went on a tirade about how his friend committed and not a part of my 2-hour video that is less than 15 seconds long.
Yeah, but it's like 15 seconds of your video, but the statement is a claim that they don't care about. Yeah. It's like you can say something wildly offensive and make a wildly impactful claim against someone in 15 seconds.
He aggressively acknowledges that he did not want to talk about it, which I had no idea about aside from the fact that he rejected talking about things over a year ago.
What the fuck? Dude, the logic is going crazy right now.
It's long. He passive-aggressively acknowledges that he did not want to talk about it, which I had no idea about aside from the fact that he rejected talking about things over a year ago. So
I don't even know what connection she's trying to make there, bro. This is tough.
I'm not sure how I would have known unless I could read your mind, Ryan.
She's saying, I don't know how I could have known that me bringing up your dead friend in a video saying you covered up and trying to cancel you. I don't know how that would have been a sore subject for you. I think you could have known.
And despite that, my quote is attributed to Matt, to which you both had the same justification, to which I say, that's fine, but if you're going around being a douchebag and then you start telling people that didn't know your friend that killed himself that he was a coward, it's going to be kind of hard not to take it as a actual insult. My only ever way
Okay. I don't know. Whatever.
of having found out that Ryan was uncomfortable was when I read it when the rest of me and his 300,000 followers did. Rather than having the chance to have spoken to him in private before going public, an offer I've extended multiple times when
What?
apparently I shouldn't have. In this post, Ryan passive-aggressively demands I seek accountability, naming out the amount of views a video stream had, which doesn't really work for Ryan when he has more followers on every platform.
What the fuck? Okay, I'm just confused because it's like she didn't approach SuperMega before making her video. I guess she's claiming that she tried to talk this out with them, you know, closer to when it happened. But it's like she didn't fucking tell them that she was going to air these fucking massive amount of grievances, claim that Matt Watson was cheating on his current girlfriend, fuck up the privacy of his own life. She didn't check with them to see if that was safe to fucking say to the public. And then when NickisNotGreen, like 600K subscriber YouTuber, blows this shit up, then apparently she was aware that was going to happen. She didn't check with them. So is the only reason that they have to be like insanely fucking massively incredulously charitable to you because you don't have that many followers? Fucking fantasy world. Straight up fantasy world. Why would he? Why the fuck? Like, why would he? It doesn't make sense. I don't know. Like, you brought this to the public sphere, so they handle it in the fucking public sphere. I get that they have a leg up because they have such a fucking strong fan base, but you didn't help yourself by, you know, the way that it was handled, right? Anyway, shattered to exile. At 1926, she brings up the anonymous anti-SuperMega screenshots and for some reason mentions CSA fanfics. I don't remember that being discussed at all in Matt's vids. Yeah, Shattered Exile, we covered this, so she is just confused, like straight up. I don't know. I'm just going to say confused because I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and just assume it's fucking insane confusion instead of, you know, just purposely trying to confuse shit. She was just confused. That entire section that you're referencing, 1926, like she's clearly referring to Matt Watson, like when he is talking about Leighton, right? Like that entire portion, the whole Discord messages thing, that's all in relation to Leighton. He doesn't implicate Lex in that, as far as I'm aware, right? So yeah, I mean, it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't get it, to be honest. Yeah. No, she's intentionally misconstruing things. There's no way she really reasons like that at 28 years old. Oberyn Karzer. Yeah, I mean, the thing is there's two things you need to keep in mind, okay? Number one is that this woman is not a commentator. This woman is not like a PR specialist. She is a human being, right? So human beings can be very fucking human, right? Like flawed, whatever you would say. Like it's rare to have like a perfect victim, someone who, you know, they could have been victimized, but then represents themselves perfectly. Like that is different, right? Like just because it both can be true. You can be the victim and you can represent yourself poorly. Yeah. The second thing that you're forgetting, or that, you know, I would point out is these people smoke too much weed. Like clearly, yeah. That's just all I gotta say.
Form than any work for Ryan of views a video stream had, which doesn't really work for Ryan when he has more followers on every platform than anyone involved. You know, it really makes sense coming from the guy that was sexting fans that he doesn't understand power dynamics, though. Not very. That
is funny. I mean that's kind of facts, right? Like the thing is that texting fans, you could argue he does understand power dynamics, but what she's basically saying is that I guess she deserved to be treated more delicately because he has more followers. And it's like, all right, if that's what you think, I guess, whatever.
Very surprising that you didn't learn much in 3 months if you were just throwing blame the whole time, because that's not indicative of a man.
The power dynamics she's referring to, Cletus Hellhamster, is Ryan has 300,000 followers and she only has like 30,000, I guess. So that means he's not allowed to fucking call her out.
Man who's trying to change. Ryan doesn't mind going directly to Twitter about an unlisted video of mine to demand an apology for mean comments that some freaks, probably Destiny's audience, made on Daniel's memorial. Ryan.
Right. All right. So Destiny got name dropped, and this is so stupid from Lex. It's like she's asking for fucking just Destiny to make a video dunking on her again and just to get all this shit. It's like, God, it's like, it's in a way it's endearing because it's like, shit, man, this woman is not like a PR person. And it's like, yeah, she's a human. Like, fair enough. But her response is just the worst thing if you're trying to minimize the amount of harassment or whatever. It's like, wow, Destiny's fucking audience were not the ones going to old videos of Daniel and saying, wow, that's so fucked up that Matt and Ryan, you know, were callous about this guy's death. That was NickisNotGreen's fans. Obviously. Fucking obviously. Wow.
Ryan makes it clear that he doesn't understand what accountability means by passive aggressively stating that he's taken his, now I need to take mine. Like, okay, for what? He doesn't even say for what. And so
literally, he said, bruh, what the fuck are you saying? He says, for speaking about Daniel and implicating himself and Matt as though they didn't care about Daniel's death, as though they were callous about it. They don't care about Lexi, fuck. That's what you said. It's like, damn, who are you getting to rewatch this shit? Fucking Ethan? Smoke too much weed.
Any idiot from a third person is going to be like, oh, she lied then. This was the second time he's held my feelings about him against me, to guilt me to try and gain control over a situation.
Yo, someone's saying, can she stop with the passive aggressiveness? I honestly respect it because clearly she's being honest with how she feels, you know. But, bro, she's the logic's not there. I don't know, for me, but whatever.
And I should have known that if Ryan was willing to hold my own feelings about my assault against me in private, that he would have no qualms with claiming everyone's a liar and using a trauma against me. Ryan's interpretation of me leaves no wiggle room for other interpretations, despite claiming not knowing, for example, why I took the video down, or not knowing if I have a history of the trauma of death at all, to assume that I would criticize someone in that way.
She's again just confused as fuck. She doesn't understand what he's saying. Bro, I don't know. All right, I gotta get off this part. It's fucked up. I don't know.
To assume that I was speaking on Daniel is disgusting. Did you even watch my video?
What a fucking ironic. It's just ironic because Ryan actually does quote her video in the Twitter post. Did she even watch her own fucking video? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because there's no other way to take how you speak in your post besides that I was talking about Daniel, when I was talking about how he was being spoken about by y'all who are still alive, speaking in a disgusting way, which I didn't even accuse Ryan of. I've only accused Matt of because...
Yeah, right, but you said they don't care about based on the idea that Matt said something fucked up and then Ryan didn't, you know, correct him, right? So you did implicate fucking Matt. Like, this is just fucking... Yeah, what's up?
Imagine making your final defense of the allegations you made all about someone's friends. Staggering lack of self-awareness.
Yeah, I mean, she should... Dude, this is the one hill that she probably should have not died on. It's like... just apologize for mentioning him, you know what I mean? But, you know, whatever. She can obviously respond however she would like. It's just going to inform a lot. It's going to be informative for me. Like, it's a weird response for sure.
Because I heard him say it twice, and I will stand by that. From how passive-aggressively Ryan words his post, I don't know if Ryan understands why victims speak out. At all. They speak out on what happened as if I'm only bringing it up because I'm mad, a personal vendetta.
Well, dude, she was totally like, dude, she was dropping tea that it's just, you only say that shit if you're trying to fuck with someone. Like, it's fair if she was mad, but she should own that. Like,
they phrase everything as if this event happened in a vacuum, rather than this being the eventual outcome of pledging support to someone, then ignoring and gaslighting them when they want to talk. Making the choice to say that everything I said except for the assault was a lie and putting it into question, and also claiming that everything that wasn't written explicitly in writing was a lie, while also claiming to support me, have supported me right out the gate, before shifting negative focus onto me rather than having any words to say about the guy who assaulted me. Nick made 5.
All right. You can take that for what you will. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know, like, I don't think that was like that great of a response. I get it. She basically views this as a power play. She views this post as a power play by Brian. But look, you don't really know that. Like, it's possible that this situation actually did fuck with him. You know, like, you're assuming a lot, I guess. And fair enough. You're right.
5 different apologies. Apologized for pretty much.
Dude, this is my favorite part, bro. Let's watch this shit.
Did me. Nick made 5 different apologies. Apologized for pretty much any involvement.
I love you, Nick.
Curious question. If you were Lex, how would you approach making this video?
Oh, bro, I don't even want to think about it. To be honest with you, I would have made the first video so different, bro. Oh my goodness. I would have done a lot differently from the jump. Because now it's such a mess. But dealing with this video, honestly, she didn't do the worst job possible. But I would have just conceded on the Daniel thing. I wouldn't have brought up there's just so much that I just wouldn't have brought up, or that I would own, right? Like, I don't know. There's this kind of implication from Lex that it's like, because I'm the victim in this scenario, you can't criticize me. You can't poke holes in my surrounding details or whatever. And it's like, nobody in this situation is doubting the assault. They all believe you, right? But you included so much fucking additional information, so many additional claims, that of course they gotta defend themselves, kind of, right? Like, I don't fucking know. So yeah, I don't know. I honestly would have just taken the route of like, okay, I kind of fucked up with my first video going into all this random bullshit, but the fact remains, Dawn to me and the SuperMega guys were not that interested in helping me. I would have taken the angle of like, these SuperMega guys clearly were like, they fucked up beyond just an innocent fuck up or whatever, with Matt Watson, you know, sending me to his house, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I basically would have just kept it a little bit less defensive in places where it wasn't necessary, and more simple in the places where, you know, you want to double down, if that makes sense. Fucking no, I'd rather just not think about that, man, because honestly, the idea of creating this video, it sounds like a nightmare. I understand why it took her so long, because it's like, what a fucking mess. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's here for everyone to fucking watch, so here we are watching, right? Who involved in this drama would main and smash? Obviously, Ethan is online, bro. Ethan is online, got that, like, fucking, that weed. He got that weed alt swag moment, bruh.
Explicitly in writing was a lie, while also claiming to support me, have supported me right out the gate, before shifting negative focus onto me, rather than having any words assaulted me.
Here we go, Nick.
Made 5 different apologies. Apologized for pretty much any involvement. Says he shouldn't have involved himself. Invalidating. Nick was just basically apologizing for whatever he was getting harassed for in the moment, and then said he was going to stop posting about it, and then cut me off. I sent Nick our first text since March 20.
An address we met up at. I hope the video is okay, by the way. Lamau, I forgot to mention it afterwards. Lamau, I bet it's wonderful. Don't even worry. Talking about a video I helped film for him the day before. I appreciate you shooting for me. You're awesome. Thank you. Nick, I think you need to realize that you have not communicated with us in this at all. Our last text messages are from March of last year. How can you blame others for videos that you agreed to make or the outcome of them? You haven't spoken to me about this. What? Wow. Dude, these people were not friends. Holy fuck. These people were not friends, dude, at all. This is just fucking horse shit. This is crazy. Dude, look at this shit. They didn't text for fucking like a year. Over a year, they didn't text. Holy shit. Okay, so this is what Lex said to Nick. Holy fuck. Here we go. Get ready. Jesus. Ugh. You went on to make multiple response videos without saying anything to us, making the situation even worse each time. I had to find out through hate comments that you had made a new video each time it happened, rather than us having an open line of communication as things happened. Why? Were you upset at us and didn't want to speak? If that's the case, how can we do something about something you haven't spoken about? Waiting until a situation is this bad is not how I wanted to find out that you have a problem with us. Bro, this is fucking nuts. Nick, this guy announced, oh my god, this guy announced to the public that he was no longer friends with these people, no longer associated with these people, and seemingly didn't even talk to them. Holy fuck, what a goddamn snake, bro. Bad friend. What a bad little friend, bro. What a fucking weasel rat. Oh my god. Dude, you don't want friends like this, okay? In life, you want friends who, when you fuck up, they will stand by you, but they won't take your side blindly, right? But they won't fucking abandon you, you know? Yeah, Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's see. Ugh. Why? Were you upset at us and didn't want to speak? If that's the case, how can we do something about something you haven't spoken about? Waiting until a situation is this bad is not how I wanted to find out about it, that you have a problem with us. It makes me feel like you didn't have good intentions making the video, especially when I'm reminded so often of Instagram stories you've made roasting SuperMega because it is being used to invalidate my... Sorry, I've used that screenshot many times. Yeah, Nick seemingly, seemed a little bit excited about canceling SuperMega. So, yeah. To be clear, I have always separated, Nick's behavior from Lex's, but oh well. I made a video talking about how they covered it up, and I still didn't make any posts like that, Nick. There was a lot of things you fucked up on, and you avoiding responsibility by saying, you pressured me into making a video, and this is stressful for me, to us, and in a video, and walk away when this is my whole life, and I don't get to do that. You need to realize how performative that is, Nick. You need to take ownership for the mistake of speaking on a situation you didn't know, rather than blaming others. The moment you stopped communicating with us about this very serious topic and went on your own about it is the moment you started making videos about things you had no idea about. I was the one, and it feels like you played around with my life until things got too hot for you, instead of actually trying to support me as a victim, or even just as a friend. That's kind of facts. Lex is kind of spitting here. Just facts. There's so many things you could have found out sooner if you had just spoken whenever you had a question. Biggest of all is simply even just how we feel personally, or our intentions without having to assume. I have Google Docs of the script I'm making. I could have gladly showed you if you wanted to communicate with me directly as well. The video is taking so long because there's so much shit that they lied about in both Matt and Ryan's videos that it's taken me weeks to write and gather everything for the video. I'm still healing from trauma, and it's been really mentally taxing to have to go through this and relive everything to condense it into a video. Fair enough. Fair enough. I get that. I haven't worked on it every day because the other days I've just been resting to work on it more. Okay. It's been consuming my life for the past 2 weeks. I bought Final Cut, if not just to make this. Okay, so probably Ethan Has Online did not edit for Lex, probably. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not fast at this because I'm not a YouTuber. If you had asked me, I would have told you this sooner. If we had spoken sooner, your original response video could have had all of this in it. I need you to tell me directly if you're going to speak to me or not. I want you to put effort to communicate because I can't even defend you at all if you don't want to speak about any of this after everything that's happened. Fucking Mexican standoff, bro. Literally, bro. It's like, okay, everybody, all six. So we got Rav, Ethan Is Online, LexUpDog, fucking Morpie, and Rav, right? Oh yeah, and Nick. We got 6 people. All of them approach to cancel SuperMega. They all fucking shoot their shots. They maim them, they fucking hurt them, whatever. They don't die. The second shit goes south, all 5 of them turn around and fucking shoot Layton in the back of the head. Layton's dead. He's in the Shadow Realm. He's fucking finished. Instantly, Lex, Morpie, Ethan Is Online turn on each other. Boom, 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 boom. Nick shoots at Lex and Nick basically runs away from Lex and fucking Ethan. Now Lex and Ethan are firing fucking shots at this guy running away. Fucking mess is what I'm saying, bro. What a fucking disaster. What a disaster zone, bro.
And he doesn't respond and then goes on to make a 5th apology. Crazy, right?
It's fucking wild. Lex facts. It's wild. Yeah. Nick is a low-level grunt, okay? He ain't a level 100 boss. Let's just put it like that.
And his 5th apology is still up. That's the I make harmful content one. And the goalposts have been moved so much, he's basically apologizing for like his whole career, which that just has nothing to do with me at that point. But
yeah, it's insane. Like Nick's fucking dude. I mean, it is wild. It's like wild. And it's like, fair enough. Like, you know, Nick clearly, like, whatever, he feels contrite. Clearly he has undermined like his own income by not, you know, shitting out commentary videos. So maybe there will be like a silver lining for Nick, but yeah, holy fuck, what a shitty friend. Holy shit.
But Nick was being held performative by only standing up for me when it was convenient for him. So that's pretty like dirty move.
Yeah, I've been saying this. You and I are totally in sync on this, Lex. Anyway.
He needs to get better values for real. I just
100%. Are you fucking kidding me? The guy's not, 100%.
Kind of feel bad for him that he betrayed himself too. I mean, shit.
Yeah, dude, facts. Dude, she's spitting. The roller coaster of emotions, bro. Yeah, that's facts.
Accountability is not punishment. The difference between
accountability is not punishment. What is accountability? Okay, let's see.
Between accountability and blame is that accountability is established before and blame is established after.
Okay. I'm picturing accountability as basically just admitting or owning your actions and I guess the consequences, maybe. I don't know.
Now, keeping that in mind, to make an apology would not be genuine, as the circumstances in which they were demanded were to humiliate rather than to mend any relationship.
Interesting. Okay, so she's probably reading a script at this point, but she's basically saying that by apologizing, Nick wasn't sincerely apologizing. He was just performatively bending to the will of the people who already don't give a fuck about the situation and are purely using it to humiliate Nick, basically. She's basically saying that everyone who was demanding an apology from Nick didn't actually give a fuck at all. They just wanted to see him bend. And it's like, hey, Nick didn't respond to this shit until his own audience was turning on him. And they seemed actually invested, okay? On top of that, Nick did cultivate an audience of people who love jumping on cancellation trains, right? So he got fucking cannibalized. That's what happened. He got eaten alive. Anyway.
They were demanded were to humiliate rather than to end any relationship that doesn't exist between Ryan and I, and therefore would be merely for public gesture. It's not a situation that can be repeated again, and this leaves a fundamental gap in the structure of an apology, which is the promise to not repeat the mistake. Using Nick's apology as an example, not only do I think Nick didn't know what he was apologizing for, which fed into it feeling fake, but I have no reason to not believe that giving into such public humiliation and apologizing for other people's actions would further Daniel's memory being used as a bargaining chip for onlookers who care much more about internet drama from their favorite YouTube grifter and not giving respect to victims, much less victims of...
Okay, I'm not fully following, but I think she's basically saying, like, Nick caved to Ryan using Daniel as a bargaining chip. I don't know, whatever. Okay, you kind of lost me last, Lex, but whatever.
Giving a fake apology would be incredibly dishonest, and considering the original context of this topic was a video of me talking about my assault and how it got covered up, I find it incredibly inappropriate.
Fair enough. Yeah, fuck them.
I want to make a few things clear before we go.
Sure, we got different outfit and everything.
It's clear that what I have to say in regards to Don's behavior, their behavior, didn't matter considering they tried to control the situation long before it was ever public. There's a clear power imbalance that was used against me once it was perceived that I could possibly have a story that could ruin SuperMega. This couldn't have happened if they did the right thing. Despite this,
I don't know what she means by the right thing. I'm assuming she means basically immediately sever tie with Don as soon as they heard anything about the assault and basically obviously do not house him. I think that's what she means.
Matt and Ryan still chose to react the way they did. Why? It's because they weren't confused. Matt and Ryan immediately became defensive and secretive over word of my assault before any expression to go public had ever been expressed. Matt's attempt to sweep it under the rug failed after I denied an offer to an apartment while he was intoxicated. He had apologized right before. Matt gave conditions with the gift offer of paying for a place for me, which would have been me living alone in a city with no car, a city I was new to, an apartment of which wouldn't have been paid by me or been in my name. Accepting this would have been giving someone direct authority and financial control over me while I lived alone. During my stay at
Yeah, all right. I don't really know what to say about that. It's like, I don't really see how you view that as an act of bad faith. I don't really get it. Like, bro, like, what's the implication there? Like, okay, Matt Watson wanted control. Like, he wanted fucking to abuse his control over your living situation. I don't really fully get it. Like, if the guy is paying for the apartment, it should go in his name, right? I don't really fucking get it. She basically, like, she got bad vibes. That's what it is. She got bad vibes from what happened in real life. I'm convinced that's why.
At their office, Matt and Ryan used the same motive for protecting themselves to monitor me and had their employees do the same. Once it was clear I wasn't simply letting myself go, their smear campaign began amongst people that I thought were my friends. This ultimately led to Matt and Ryan hearing through an employee that I was displeased about their response to Don before I could tell them personally, in which Ryan's response to this was to attempt to guilt me into silence over bringing it up. Don is an admitted compulsive liar. He's a manipulator. He hides behind fictional persona.
Yeah, I don't like. No, I'm not here. Like, we know what she thinks of Don. Right. Okay.
And his artistic talents. He does not care about consent. There are 2 known instances in which he has ignored a woman telling him no, then going on to apologize only after coercing them and assault.
Right. Okay. So I believe that she's referring to one of the past victims of Dawn, that Lex was aware of before she dated him, I believe. So yeah, fair enough.
People with morality, as I don't have parasocial. Don, generally speaking, does not have a parasocial fan base in the same manner as Matt and Ryan.
Facts.
My condemnation of Don only influences people so far as people with morality, as I don't have parasocial fans. The true lack of...
Okay, so basically, yeah, if you don't have morality, then you will side with Matt and Ryan, is what I'm understanding.
Accountability stems from a lack of condemnation from Matt and Ryan to Don.
Okay, this is crazy, right? Okay,
so far as people with morality, as I don't have parasocial fans. The true lack of accountability stems from a lack of condemnation from Matt and Ryan to Don.
Okay, wait up. Is she talking about like today, or is she talking about then? Because Matt and Ryan have condemned Don like 100%. They said he did it. They agreed with the fact they said we should have fired him right away. We should have fucking dropped his ass like a fucking hot potato. What is the lack of condemnation of Dawn? I don't get it. I don't know.
How? Well, they decide to focus on publicly shaming me for speaking out about what happened rather than simply condemn what took place.
That's just cap, though. They didn't publicly shame you for speaking out about what happened. They just defended themselves against the claims that some of the claims that you made.
They knowingly use their social influence to shift the audience focus from Dawn and their actions to questioning my motives and shifting the blame onto me.
To be fucking clear, like, bro, like, I mean, I understand if she's referring to the Ryan post, but like, if we're talking about Matt Watson's response, the guy shifted the blame onto Leighton. Leighton's the fall guy. Leighton's the fall guy for fucking everyone.
To this day, I've hidden from posting publicly for around as long as the man who with me has. Yeah. Because the fans of the friends I trusted telling my assault about wouldn't stop harassing me daily. Despite this, many wonder why Dawn doesn't get as much flack and blame my timeline of my original
Right. That's a good question. Yeah, why? Okay, fair.
Video, because nobody realizes that Matt and Ryan don't focus on what Don did to me was wrong. They speak about how what they think I did was wrong to them.
Matt and Ryan condemned Don.
Matt and Ryan decided to get themselves involved further than what was ever asked. Of which I had asked them to keep me away from Don in person.
Right.
I was assaulted, and people who I thought were my friends covered it up to protect their YouTube channel.
Right.
Those same friends then hid behind problems they have with other people to make it look like I had ill intentions by speaking out about getting assaulted and their actions afterwards. They use their own agendas of prioritizing their YouTube channel and having a good reputation to attempt to gaslight and manipulate me into silence. With their actions, Matt and Ryan have shown everyone from their videos the lengths they're willing to go to lie, manipulate, triangulate, gaslight, to cover for their own bad behavior, to have you, the viewer, feel bad for them. Unfortunately, I allowed Matt and Ryan to manipulate me by my projection onto them of who they were, or rather, who I thought they were. Or rather, who they portray themselves as. I consistently gave them the benefit of the doubt even when it went against my own wisdom to do so, simply because we were friends. It wasn't until after watching their videos and how I saw that they had manipulated the story to their own benefit when I truly realized what was taking place. The same self-serving motivations to further their career that was given from the very beginning. What I thought was internet gossip ended up being a direct cover-up using an audio.
Okay, it's weird because, look, like, it's true that it doesn't seem like Matt and Ryan, like they could have handled this better. But as far as malicious intent goes, I really do feel like she has not, been able to prove that they had malicious intent. To a degree, yes, I think she has pointed out that they absolutely were trying to preserve themselves, right? But I really do feel like that's not surprising. And I really do feel like they did try and make an effort to make it up to you, quote unquote, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like a messy situation that just probably should never have fucking been online. And if it was, so many details should have been left out. Like, there's just so much fucking extraneous details that just muddy the waters. Anyway, let's keep her going.
Audience willing to reject reality for their version of it. Instead of making an actual response, it's simply just easier to make a last-minute video lying. There's no need to defend yourself when your parasocial audience sees you as the reason why their favorite YouTubers stop posting.
I'm so confused what she thinks they're lying about. It was the Ross thing. That's real. Yeah. You could attribute that to being a lie. That they, reached out to other content creators on Lex's and their behalf to warn them about Don. Gotcha.
Matt and Ryan downplaying their actions and even their own knowledge leads people to be sympathetic to them through their own pre-established parasocial relationships. They lie to their fans who would have believed them and stuck around even if they had told the truth. And they use their audience.
Okay, who just bonked my head? Oh, yo, Mike's Lydian. Thank you for the 3 bones, bro. Do you think there's a reason why Nick's audience did the right thing and held him accountable, while Ethan's audience refused to do the same? I'm not sure, but if I had to guess, it's the Jimmy Robbins video. Jimmy Robbins made a dope-ass video and just fucking marred Nick's, legitimacy to a similar audience, right? Like, this Jimmy Robbins video is a fucking great video. I don't know what else to say. That's all I got, Pretty much all I got.
Audience's attachment to them against people who threaten them. Believing that, despite overwhelming evidence of intent, their favorite content creators are just simply ignorant little...
Okay, she's saying overwhelming evidence of intent. I don't see it. It's like, it's such a mess. I don't know.
Boys. Their audience enables and infantilizes 30-year-old men they wish to protect from their own actions. Matt and Ryan's act of feigning ignorance and convenient forgetfulness enables them to self-victimize themselves as a response to someone speaking out on being sexually assaulted, an actual crime. This upload falls on April, which is Awareness Month. For many, the internet is often the only choice in speaking out. The justice system is notorious for not helping victims. In North America, 1 in 4 women will experience or attempt it in their lifetime.
I want to drop a disclaimer that there's a lot of discrepancies between this particular statistic. I got this one that
So I don't know why this is a kind of a tangent she's going on, but yeah, I'm really not too sure. But I mean, this is, you know, facts, right? Like sexual assault, this stuff fucking affects people every fucking day, man. It's like horrible, bro. It's fucking awful. And I mean, I don't know. It's just like a nightmare to fucking have to just have all this like unravel publicly. I know in this case she did not report this to the police, like this alleged assault. Her reasoning for not reporting it was basically she was scared. She was scared that it would fuck over Matt. It happened in Matt's house, and also Dawn is from Germany. She just basically was scared, right? She didn't know what the fuck to do, effectively. And yeah, I mean, obviously having to deal with fucking, you know, the court filings, all this shit, it makes you relive it or whatever. It's just a horrible fucking situation. And weirdly, like, I know that she's basically leaning into, you know, women are disproportionately affected by sex crimes. I mean, you know, to make this less about identity or whatever, like this happens to men too, okay? And I'm pretty confident that it's a fact that men are disproportionately the ones who commit, you know, sex crimes, whatever. Obviously, that's not always the case, but like, look, I'm gonna be real, like, I know a lot of guys who've been, you know, assaulted or fucking harassed or whatever, and it's and look, I've been aware both genders have done it, but it's like I've seen like the most aggressive ones. It's like a guy on a guy, you know what I mean? So yeah, and I know, like, I understand the kind of fucking anger, guilt, shame, whatever that goes with it. It's fucking awful, right? It's like fucking brutal. For guys, it's like, because with a guy, you know, it sucks. It's brutal for women. It's brutal for anybody, but like with guys, it's probably unreported or underreported, I should say, because it's like, bro, a lot of shame built in with that shit. You know what I mean? Obviously, again, works both ways, but like with a guy, it's like, well, why didn't you do something about it? You know what I mean? Why didn't you fucking, you know, fight back, whatever, right? Obviously, people say that to women too, but the guys, it's like there is a more judgment, I find. At least maybe that's, you know, a projection, but yeah, it's this shit sucks, man. I mean, it's fucking terrifying, honestly. And I don't envy Lex. I definitely don't envy her. But if you're gonna come out about shit like this publicly, man, you've gotta have high levels of prudence. You've gotta fucking have a plan. You've gotta, you know, stick to the facts. Try to prove whatever you can, I guess. Yeah, it's just tough. Anyway.
Said in my video originally from this one, and I'll link it because I got it because it's from 2020. So it seems like the most recent one out of all of them that I'd looked at. And
okay, I don't know why she's going on this. Like, I believe it. Like,
11 and 17. So
what is this? 81% of women and 43% of men reported experiencing some sort of sexual harassment or assault in their lifetime. Yeah, fuck.
So it varies based off of your age as well. Funny enough, one that I actually was not looking for was between 2 and 10% are false reports. Yeah, of course it's low. People barely report it to begin with. The 1 in 6 statistic comes from the Abuse Incest National Network.
Okay, what is going on?
Look at all the resources that I have shown to you so far.
Despite this, less than 5% report these to the police. Shame and fear being one of the largest reasons why. 310 out of 1,000 women go to the police. When they do go to the police, will experience or attempt it in their lifetime. 25
That was like a pretty blatant editing error. I'm not sure.
Go to the police. when they do go to the police will experience or attempted in their lifetime. 25 out of 1,000 are convicted of a crime. I hope this can shed some light on why women don't go to the police immediately.
It is so wild, bro. It is so wild that like this wasn't proof watched by fucking seemingly anyone. Like, wow, man. Wow. What the fuck? Dude. This woman, who the fuck is in this woman's circle, man? Like, Jesus Christ. What is Ethan doing, dude? He's the fucking YouTuber. Like, what?
Beyond that, it extends the trauma of having to retell a story over and over in court. Whether to the cops or anyone else, this rings true for victims. People don't speak out when they feel scared. When someone says that I'm making it harder for victims to speak out, I know that isn't true, because others have felt empowered enough to tell me their stories privately and publicly in response.
Okay, I my bad. I get why she was going on the statistics and shit. She's basically countering the people who are saying you're a liar and you are making it harder for all victims to be believed. She's countering that by basically saying, no, people have reached out to me and said, you empower me, basically. Whatever, fair enough.
To my story, some for the first time. What scares people is the reaction from others. When we expect
yeah, of course. Obviously, 100%, of course. It's a massive risk to fucking accuse people of something a lot of the time. Yeah.
Action out of victims, it shifts the attention off of the person that made them a victim in the first place. It should be okay to speak out about assault online. If you've held something in like this before, you know how it can be life-altering to finally let it go, to speak on it and move past it. Nobody deserves to stay silent, and I'm not going to be silent because of anyone. I'll be leaving links in the description that go into detail of cycles of manipulation and abuse, in case anyone would like to read.
Okay, whatever.
It would mean so much.
Wait, what?
Also, any support who can benefit to yourself, to protect yourself, to create better boundaries against people who can benefit to manipulate you. As I move forward, I would appreciate any support or any words of encouragement. It would mean so much. Also, if you're comfortable, I would like to encourage a space where anyone can feel safe to share any stories or advice in the comments. Anything that you'd be willing to share about your experiences with abuse. Someone might really benefit from hearing your story. This experience made me realize that the courage it takes to speak out and the empowerment that comes from it is contagious. I hope that telling my story can maybe help someone learn that what they've dealt with in their own lives could be abuse, so they can start to find support. If I could at least help one person, then this was all worth it. I hope you have a good day.
Damn, bro. Dude, this woman, fuck, she needs like a PR team, bro. Like, that was not the best way to end that. I guess it's not bad. It's like a good, it's like positive. It's like a wholesome kind of note, you know, but it was said in like the most fucking scripted way I've ever seen, man. All right, so this is apparently a fucking comment that was removed. Holy shit. By Lex. Okay, got allegedly removed by Lex from Don's first ex, who apparently, you know, Don also potentially assaulted. And apparently Lex removed this. It says, Lex, let's not forget about how when I originally talked to you and posted about Don grooming me, you backed him up and continued being his friend. I was foolish to make tweets about this situation back in the summer before I realized the full situation. In my experience talking to you directly in the past, you acted like a snake. Yes, you agreed that Don fucked up, but you also said you supported me and didn't hold him accountable with me at all. Now you know how it feels to be me, when I felt all alone and afraid when people didn't believe me. When my level 22 account got mass reported by Don's followers and suspended. You were so pissed about people not supporting you, but where were you in the past for me? Fuck. It doesn't get much fucking harsher than that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, that's like Don's first alleged victim saying basically, yo, Lex, fuck you. You get what you give. Yeesh. Tough. Yeah. Lex, in your original video, one of the accusations you made against SuperMega was that they made you homeless. But in this video, you say Matt and Ryan offered to pay for an apartment for you, and you refused this offer. I was made homeless at the age of 18 and spent 12 months living on the streets, relying on public facilities to shower, being fed by soup kitchens, and scrounging other people's leftovers from mall food. Oh, fuck. God, what a fucking visual. I slept in parks, condemned buildings. Yeah. As a young woman, I was at risk of SA or worse. Christ. I don't know about the rest of your claims, but to say that you were homeless is insulting to anyone who has experienced actual homelessness. Your situation may have been inconvenient and stressful, but absolutely, you were never actually homeless. Please stop making that claim. Okay? Absolutely unnecessary to bring Justin and Kelly into this. All right. Are you and your boyfriend going to get high on stream again for another sub count? Yeah, look. Dude, if I was Lex, I would have apologized for that shit. That shit's fucking stupid as hell, man. So stupid. So fucking stupid. Going on stream, playing bingo on the SuperMega cancellation, smoking weed, listening to fucking the new album just dropped by Ethan or whatever. Fucking hell, man. Yeah, okay. Their actions were on purpose because you told them to stay silent and not say anything publicly. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. It wasn't their story to tell. They take matters into their own hands when it wasn't really their business to do so. Wasn't Matt and Ryan's failure to act the whole reason for them getting mixed up in all this? Which one is it? You know, didn't you bring Matt and Ryan's deceased friend into this when this whole situation started? You know, what the fuck was your point here? You owned Too Mad because he died? You're a freak.
He immediately shit on me as soon as my video came out and blocked me, and now he's dead. So Matt doesn't know I'm a child.
No, I don't think she was really mocking Too Mad's death. I think she was just confused as fuck or lying or something about, you know, the Discord, whole Discord thing, because that was about Layton, not Lex. Anyway, so from what okay, so Lex doesn't address Layton really at all. Doesn't throw him under the bus. Doesn't fucking even acknowledge a lot of the weird shit with Layton. She doesn't address the weed stream really in any meaningful way. There's a lot like that she just kind of ignores. The whole like homelessness thing, fucking ignored. Anyway, here's a screenshot of that original comment from Clancy, Necro Clancy, I should say. Right here. Let's not forget about how. Goddamn. Yeesh. What a bloody fucking mess. Look, at the end of the day, I don't take any pleasure in covering this story. Lex did point out some minor inconsistencies with Matt's side of the story. Basically, the biggest one to me is basically that, you know, it seems possible that Matt and Ryan both construed it as though, you know, they went out of their way to warn people about Don, when in reality that was more or less because of Lex, right? They did seemingly the bare minimum. You know, at the end of the day, I still stand by this. This situation sucks. It's a mess, and it ideally would never have went online the way that it did. At the end of the day, if you're gonna make a fucking serious, you know, video accusing people of assault in a 2-hour-long rant, try to fucking not put too much unimportant information that, you know, can end up with, you know, needing to be addressed. And also, do not smoke so much weed. That's important. I don't know. I don't really want to keep dragging on this topic at all. I'm kind of making this out of an obligation just to, like, you know, let fucking Lex say her piece or whatever. You know, that's her perspective, right? Fair enough. Now, I am going to tell you, if you want to go to gokamerch.com right now, okay? Sign up for the fucking email list. We have the Puppet Master hat right here. Oh god, I'm going to hell. Hopefully not. But yeah, if you go to gokamerch.com, we've got the Sands of Time hoodie, you got the Poorly Programmed hat, and oh, look at this little cutie. Sign up for the damn email list. Get a little robot, a little robot fella from the Sneeko video. Yeah, and you get 10% off if you buy this cute little beanie right here. Look at this shit. Look at this drip. This straight up drip. Fuck. This shirt's dope. This beanie's dope. Boom. This is the one I'm wearing. Olive beanie moment. God bless you.